What's up, everybody out there in YouTube Landia? You see the faces, as you can see on Vic's picture. We're about to talk some ALDS and also some NLCS. But first, I'm gonna kick it over to my man, Storms. Go ahead and say a few words as you always do.
Nah, man, I'm not happy to be here. I'm not.
Not today?
No. Y'all see the name. Y'all see the background. This is, as adults, we have to own our mistakes, right? This is me owning my mistake. My mistake was putting my faith and trust in Terry Francona to do the right things. And you know what? Should I wait for the segment or should I just go with it now?
Yeah, let's wait for this segment because
all right.
I want to introduce
so
Vic too.
I'm gonna shut up then.
What's up, Vic?
We want to let everybody join in. Whoever's going to join in, give them a few minutes. So, if you want to bullshit a conversation for a few minutes, you can do that.
Watch your language.
My bad.
Yeah, this is a fucking family show, Vic.
But as you can see, I brought some friends with me today. They're showing a little bit too much chest, but it's all right. It's all right. Well, the kids understand. So got my guy Cole here, his new baby. Shout out to Naylor Cole. And yeah, man, just excited, man. This Padres Phillies series is gonna be so much fun. It's crazy because, if we, most people are gonna choose Braves Dodgers or Dodgers Mets, regular stuff. But when you look at it, look how these teams been playing. This is gonna be a fun series, man, because they're getting hot at the right time, and it's all aspects of the team, the hitting, the starters, the bullpen, for these teams. So this series is gonna be fun. Could be more fun than the World Series itself.
Yeah, we've seen that before. We've seen the World Championship Series are more interesting than the World Series, right. Depending on the two teams playing. But what I was getting to is Vic's photo. As he said, Cole showing some chest, but as of right now, they should be flexing their chest because they just took out a really good Guardians team. They were down. What 2-1 in the series and came back to win it. Yeah. Props to them for winning yesterday in Cleveland and then going home and taking care of business. And as far as what Tito did, we're gonna get to that soon. But Boone actually was doing the right thing there late in the game with 2 runners on, starting to get Cole warmed up, just in case the tying run did come up to bat. I thought that was smart, Vic. Did you like that move? I mean, obviously you had to have liked it, Yeah,
I mean, I guess, you could say Cole was hot, being able to win game 1 and game 4. So he was probably feeling it out of everybody in the, the pitching staff. So, I understood it. Wandy, shout out to Wandy. I mean, that dude, has been fantastic all year long, and he even stepped it up in the playoffs. That was fun to watch. He's one of those weird, awkward guys too, but he's fun to watch. He's got some nasty stuff. And then of course Nestor as well too. They're almost very similar. They have nice cut fastballs, some sinkers, and they know how, pinpoint accuracy. Attack the strike zone. Both lefties, so the Yankees got some good, decent pitchers there for a couple more years.
So we're going in the NLCS right now. Wheeler's on the mound for the Phillies, going to the bottom of the second, and Darvish, they're head-to-head right now. So still no hits in the game, which we expect the pitchers do right now. But Storms, I'm going to kick it over to you, man. Go ahead and, as we say, get it off your chest. Go ahead and say what you were going to say, brother.
Man, I am so mad at Terry Francona right now. I said it, 8 or 9 times don't pitch to Aaron Judge. Now, they did. And I said Tito don't play, and he showed that in a different way. They went right at him. And it did work for the most part. You know, he got 4 hits and 20 at-bats in the series, and he struck out like 10 or 11 times. But 2 of those hits, though, in Game 4, his single, and I think it was the 7th, that was what ended up allowing, he got on, and Giancarlo Stanton eventually brought him home with a sacrifice fly to extend the lead from 3-2 to 4-2. And that was, that's one of those single runs that feels a lot bigger than one run. And then again tonight, the home run to push it from 4-1 to 5-1. I didn't even get home till the 6th inning. I didn't see that home run. But even just looking at the box score, I could feel like that changed it. That made it feel like it put it away. This Guardians team, they don't hit for power when they get behind. This is not a team that's built to come from behind. I know they did the other night, but it just, and 3 runs and 4 runs is a big difference.
Yeah,
it's a big difference. We saw it tonight in the 7th inning. I think the Guardians got a couple of hits real quick and ended up not scoring in the inning. But you get 2 runners on a lot more than you get 3 in an inning, and then it only takes 1 swing. The other big bone to pick I have with Terry Francona is starting Aaron Savali tonight. I understood it when he was going to go against Tyone yesterday, but then you also only have Bieber on 2 days rest. Today, Boone elected to go with Nestor. And as Vic pointed out in the chat earlier, Savali gave up, 10 runs in 12 innings against the Yankees this year?
Yep.
And you have him going up against a guy who's not necessarily an ace, but he's had ace stuff all year. I really felt like even if you only get 3 innings out of it, you got to go Bieber. You have to go Bieber. You got to go with your best available arm. And I know that he doesn't have a good track record against the Yankees in the playoffs, but I don't know. I feel like Bieber would have given them a much better chance to win today. And I feel like that decision, along with, now Judge didn't have any RBIs that won a game in this series, but he had the one that put the series away, and he had a big one to extend the lead, and that gives the whole game a different feel. In game 4, I question those 2 decisions because it's still Aaron Judge, and as he showed us twice, all it takes is 1 swing for him to change a game.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I'm gonna kick it over to Vic so he can talk his stuff about the Yankees and what they did to counter what Judge wasn't doing this series. Because you're right, he did strike out a lot, but we did talk about other guys stepping up in the lineup, and there's 2 guys in particular with Stanton and Bader that stepped up big time. No, Vic, what do you got to say about them, man?
Yeah, no, Stanton, October guy. I just saw a stat where he has 11 home runs in 23 playoff games, career playoff games, and Jorge Posada had 11 in 125 career playoff games. So, shout out to Jorge and those legendary guys. That's impressive stuff right there. I mean, that's Giancarlo anyway. He's all or nothing kind of hitter. especially at this stage in his career. So that is a part of the lineup where, you got to surround guys like him with contact hitters, and the Yankees did a little bit better of a job this year doing that. I think that with Judge as well, making more contact, a little bit more than he's done in previous years also helped out. But yeah, I mean, he had a rough series, man. I think that he was pressing a lot for 61 and 62 towards the end of the season. He did open up his strike zone a little bit. He was swinging a lot of, to a lot of sliders. And for some reason, like, it was weird. Like, even today, he struck out in his first at bat at a 78-mile-an-hour curveball that was high up in the zone. And it's like, bro, are you like, is your vision kind of like regressing at this stage in the season, or what's going on? But then he was able to hit one, at second at bat. It's good because Judge, he deserves to kind of sit back a little bit and let everybody else kind of help out. To piggyback what Josh was talking about, and the Indians not getting enough power, like they had some moments there where they had like I mean, I think it was, what was it, the sixth inning? You still had Nestor pitching, and Jose Ramirez came up with the bases loaded. He actually rocked a inside pitched, he almost hit a grand slam on it. But then Nestor was able to get him pop up on a fastball up and in. So they had moments where they could have caused some damage, and they just couldn't. I think that this team, like I said, I give them credit, even though I was calling them the Blooping Guardians. They deserve credit, man, because they're like the old school baseball, like make contact, get people on base. They freaking run the bases beautifully. They got speed. Quan and this kid, I forget his name.
Straw.
Second hitter. Shortstop.
Jimenez.
Yeah.
Or Rosario.
Yeah.
Rosario.
Jimenez. They got a nice up the middle, second and shortstop that they got from the Mets. For the Lindor trade, which some people were like questioning if that was something that the Mets regret, and I wouldn't if I was a Mets fan or the Mets organization at all, because if you put in Jimenez, then you're removing McNeil from second base, and look how good of a season McNeil had.
Mm-hmm.
So like you got to understand those kind of situations too when you discuss regretting any type of trade. But anyway, those two guys at the top of the lineup, man, like Quan just, I mean, what was he, 9 for 18, 9 for 19, something crazy like that? Like the dude really puts the bat on the ball, and it's fun to watch if it's not against your team. Against your team, it's really fucking aggravating because that kid is incredible, man.
He's like honestly, he's like an Ichiro type hitter without the power.
Right.
That's exactly what he is.
Yeah, and I mean, there was years where Ichiro didn't hit many home runs either. So that's a good comparison. I don't think he's from Japan, but another Asian player where they put a lot of focus on being very relaxed in the box.
Yes.
They talked about it in the broadcast. He's very relaxed. He's got a closed stance, very quiet, not too much movement. The only movement, exploding through the ball.
Yep. And
making contact. And that's exactly what they teach in the Asian countries. And he's doing a good job so far doing that here. And then shout out to Josh Naylor, man. Shout out to Josh Naylor, man. Like, bro, let's it was excessive, in my opinion. I think a lot of people share that opinion.
Yo, look.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna let you finish your thought, but you don't get frustrated or heated or mad too often.
Yeah.
The only time I've seen you like that is when we were, another conversation we were having about the Yankees, but this really got under your skin, a lot of Yankee fans' skin too. No,
this one, yeah, dude, listen, I'm all for the new school celebration. Even in football, we talk about it in football, like, you shouldn't be scoring every time you make a stop on first and second down. Celebrate when you get them off the field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So how are you going to celebrate a home run that didn't even tie or put your team ahead? And then like you don't even you don't do just the bat flip and go around. No, you had a whole little like bipolar attack or something going around the whole going around the whole freaking base path to the point where you're staring at the pitcher and it's like, bro, there's still more work to do, you know? So I love the dude's passion. I love his passion. Like that stretch that he had in the middle of the season where he was basically carrying them to some wins. I love the passion. There's a limit to everything though. And now, you know, he had to deal with the Bronx crowd who gave him a hard time. There's plenty of pictures that on Twitter. They were giving him a hard time every time he made an out.
I'm not gonna lie, the "Who's Your Daddy" chants were killing me.
Yeah, that was really funny. But you know, the Yankee fans, even the new school fans, are not gonna forget things, man. They're not gonna forget things. They're on top. They're on top of their game when it comes to heckling the opposing team. And I don't that this might be a good observation by Jorge. It's not confirmed, but I think this is Cole's wife's TikTok account right here. So if she did it, that's genius on her. I'm using it. Shout out to Amy.
So
Vic, Quan was 9 for 21 in the series with leadoff hits in games 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, that kid is gonna be something special, man. Like, what was it like? His first 100 swings did not miss, something crazy like that. And you know, when he came up, so
he I think reached base in like his first 13 major league at bats. That which his debut was opening day.
right. Yeah, that dude is fantastic, man. Like that's, you know, and this is something we've talked about in the background, you know, on the chats and stuff like that. Like that leadoff, that pure leadoff hitter it's like literally extinct in baseball right now. But you know, if you could get a guy like that, any lineup would benefit from a guy leading off. Like I can't even think of a lineup right now, to be honest with y'all, that he wouldn't take the number one spot. Is there another leadoff hitter in the league right now that you wouldn't replace him with?
I mean, no, not really. I mean, we got a good one in the Mets with Nimmo, but he has a good eye at the plate and walks a lot. That's why his OPS is a high. But as far as pure leadoff hitter, he's probably the best right now, man.
Right. I mean, because you're talking about contact, you're talking about getting on base and then making noise while you're on base.
Mm-hmm. And Nimmo is not a base stealer.
Right. So that's the full package when it comes to this kid. So,
Yeah.
you know, shit, man. Listen.
Well, then we got our first hit in the NLCS. Schwarber hits a ground ball to the right side and gets through. We finally got our first hit. But to the Yankees, or to what Storms is saying about the Guardians, yeah, Tito, you messed up, man. You die by going with your best pitcher, and Bieber's that. You know, we always see managers overthink, you know, their situation with the closer or with the bullpen, or not bringing in the closer in the game when it's tied or when they have a lead. They just overthink it, and Tito did it today with the starting pitcher. You have to go with your best pitcher, even if you might have gotten the same end result. At least you die with him instead of saying, "Man, I should have went the other way around." You know what I mean? Now he's probably double thinking it, and it just sucks on his point. But you know, to the Yankees,
real quick,
Yeah.
before you go ahead, like what I was telling Josh, I think before you jumped in, the way the Cleveland media made it seem was like it was a long-term decision when it came to him.
To Bieber?
Yeah, like they didn't want to risk him long-term. So like, you know, that may be a factor. I don't know if they would confirm that.
Right, but like I feel like there's more value in even using him as an opener as there is in starting Savali tonight.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
like I was saying before, even if you can get 3 good innings out of him, but even if you can get 2, like they have the bullpen to hold the Yankees in check, and their bullpen, generally speaking, has done that all series.
And, we always say in the chat and when we're talking, you play to win today because tomorrow's not guaranteed.
Right.
And it's the same with Bieber starting today. You can say about the future and all that, but you're not guaranteed to be in the same position next year, the year after, or in 3 years. So even if you are saving his arm, yeah, you're saving his arm, but you're not putting yourself in the position to get back there. Because, I mean, look at the teams you're going to be facing in the playoffs for years to come. Yeah, they have a good young team, but they're still going to be facing the Yankees. They're still going to be facing the Astros. They're probably going to be facing more of Seattle. They're probably going to be facing more of Toronto. So
And you can't forget about the White Sox and the Twins possibly getting better too. So
right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting to. What are you saying you're saving him for the future for when you're there now?
Right. And even if you do end up basically throwing a bullpen game because you decided to start Bieber on short rest, yes, you have the high-powered Astros lineup starting tomorrow, and you're a little bit hamstrung because you wore out the bullpen. But again, that's a problem to worry about tomorrow if you get there, and they didn't.
Yep. But kudos to the Yankees, man. They came out and fought their way back and winded up winning the series 3-2. And like I said, Stanton, man, just showing up. And like you said, Vic, an all-or-nothing hitter, and that's what he's been most of his career. But man, just the power that he possesses when he hits the ball to right field is crazy. Once he gets a hold of one, it doesn't need to go that high. It just goes. It's just kind of a laser out there into right field, and it gets out quick. He just has that kind of power.
Yeah, this is a dude, man, that like he's injured often, but he takes really good care of his body. He actually rides his bike a lot. This is something that I saw on his Instagram account. But it's one of those situations where like he still got that injury bug, but when he's available, he's like again one of those guys where you could put in any lineup and just the fear factor that he brings to it, is good. Clearly a DH at this point in his career probably could give you 20, 25 games in the outfield just to give one of your other superstars a break. But the Yankees got him for 4 or 5 more years. It's going to be a very interesting 4 or 5 more years. I don't know exactly how many it is. I know it's a lot still. To see where how he's able to help in any way. But right now, I mean, he shows up in October. But yeah, I mean, listen, like, shout out to the Yankees, man. They got a lot of issues in the front office and the coaching staff for me at the higher level. I think at the lower levels they've done an awesome job with the team and the farm system. But the game 3 debacle where they decided not to use a Clay Holmes in that closing situation, they could have regretted it. So there's some things to overcome when it comes to the front office and the coaching staff with Boone. But I mean, you can't say enough about the players, bro. Like the players deserve it. They fought when they were struggling. You could tell they really love each other. This is a very united squad. So they definitely playing for each other. The way they talk about Judge, they love him and they're playing for him too. So as big as the Yankees are as a franchise, it's tough to cheer for them. But you gotta give them credit for just the passion that they've been playing the game the last couple of years, especially this season.
Yeah, man. And to that point, the Yankees have another shot at getting the monkey off their back by playing the team that they cannot beat to get to the World Series, which is the Astros. For as good as we talk about, and I've said this before, the Dodgers being who they are, this is the team so far of the last decade, I would say. They've been to 6 straight now, including this year, ALCSs, and 3 of the last 5 World Series. And if they get to this World Series, it'll be 4 of the last 6. That's crazy. That's stupid. That doesn't even make any sense me saying that. You know what I mean? Like Storm said it previously in the chat that we've had. They're the one team, or even on a live, they're the one team that went into the playoffs with really no holes. And you said the Yankees have some, but the Yankees have a lineup to where they can make up that difference there with the holes they have because of the power that they possess. And we'll see if the Yankees are able to do something, or the Stros dominance in the AL continues.
Sorry, guys.
Storms, what do you say about that, man?
Man, this is gonna be a fun series. There's gonna be a lot of runs scored on both sides. I'm interested to see if I think Houston's gonna go at Aaron Judge too. I don't think they're gonna pitch around him, especially seeing how the Guardians pitching staff for the most part just handled him. I just don't. You're right. That lineup can mask some of their deficiencies, but I just don't think they have enough to overtake the Astros, especially coming in on no rest after a long series. The Astros got the sweep. They've had 4 days to rest and recover. I just don't know. So we got what? Tyone versus Verlander in game 1. And then because Vic was saying earlier that Tyone was going to start game 1 now.
Yeah, game one. Yep. Game 1, Tyone. Oh, sorry.
Okay, so Tyone, Verlander, game 1, and then we'll have Valdez and Cole.
I think they'll go with Cole.
That's gonna be a hell of a matchup right there.
It's gonna be interesting though, because do you go Nestor game 3 at Yankee Stadium or Severino, who would then be in another extended, break in between starts?
I think I would go Severino for that reason.
Yeah.
I think it depends. It depends if the Yankees are down 2-0 or if it's tied up, or if they're up 2-0.
Yeah, it's gonna.
So if they're tied, I will go Nestor. If the Yankees are up 2-0, I would throw Severino.
And if they're down 0-2,
I would throw Nestor.
Yeah.
Yeah. that was, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I mean, Houston, bro, they deserve it, man. Like, even with all the controversy they have, that team is fun to watch. Jordan, man, I listen.
I mean, right now you got to say the most feared hitter in baseball.
Yeah, I don't want to
make.
No,
absolutely.
I don't want to make like bold predictions, crazy predictions like this, but he's got some Barry Bonds type of vibe for me when it comes to like the ability to like impact the game from the lefty standpoint. Because again, you're facing 70% righties.
But it doesn't even matter if he faces a lefty. Look at what he did against Robbie Ray.
Yeah, that's true too. So I mean, he hits both sides of the play, both arms. And obviously he doesn't have like the outfield prowess that Bonds had in his career and the running the bases. But from a hitting standpoint, like this dude, if he really is 23, 24 years old,
Man,
shout out to the Cuban government. And their hospital system, but
we'll say 24-ish.
Yeah. if he's that young, bro, and he's able to continue to develop, like that can be a real scary hitter for that lineup, for that team. I think he has an extension, if I'm not mistaken. I think he signed another. He's one of those guys that signed a 10-year stupid $5 contract. But yeah, man, they deserve where they're at. Like, they're gonna have the advantage, not only because they're the better team, but they're rested. They're gonna have their ace, their possible Cy Young to start versus Tyone. So, they got everything, they got all the chips falling for them right now.
Vic,
Okay.
real quick. What's crazy is he's doing all this, and no, he's still hasn't even hit arbitration yet. The Houston Astros are paying $764,000 for him this year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so he didn't sign a contract then.
Nope. But he's gonna get about 25-30 million in arbitration though.
Oh, he's gonna ask for. I mean, I would think his agent would ask close to what Shohei might be asking. Somewhere with 25. I know Shohei is gonna go for the 30.
Shohei got 30.
Yeah, so he already signed it. Yeah, so like, if you're Alvarez and those guys, like, are you asking for 20?
Wow. So, update on the NLCS. Bryce Harper just hit a solo shot on a fastball that was about 6 inches over the strike zone to left field.
Wow.
I'm about to see it right now.
Straight power. Wow.
Shout out to
Damn.
Shout out to Christopher Joseph, fellow Yankee fan. He put up an interesting stat here on the in the group. It says Wandy Peralta is the first pitcher to ever appear in all 5 games of the division series.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That's nuts. And so there we go. That was the first one in the NLCS. Harper, opposite field. I was about to give a shout out to Darvish because that was the 11th batter faced in the game. And prior to that, he had 6 strikeouts. 6 strikeouts and 10 batters, and the 11th batter got a hit in a home run.
Man, you can't even be mad about that because that's a pitcher's pitch.
Yeah, really. That was big.
That's supposed to be a pop out to shallow right.
Yeah, the ball just kept carrying out there, man. It's crazy. What are your guys' opinion as far as, I think the key would be here in the NLC and ALCS is the bullpens. I think that's going to come to play a lot more than the starters will. Obviously, like we see every playoff. And the bigger question, who's going to be closing more for the Yankees? Are they going to go with Holmes? Are they going to go Peralta? Are they going to go combination?
Real quick, shout out to Chris now. He just joined. He told me he was going to join. He did join. So Chris, I shouted out your post you shared in Dish. We appreciate your participation in the groups, of course, and your support.
Yeah, man.
So he asked in the comments, does Chapman make the ALCS roster?
That's exactly why I asked this question.
That's
what I was getting to.
Yeah, what's interesting about that is that like they haven't DFA'd him at all yet.
Mm-hmm.
Boone did allude to the fact that he is working out and throwing in Miami still. So it's gonna be interesting if they put all the drama to the side and bring him in. Benintendi as well. I was hoping that he would be brought in as well. But like I told you guys before we went live, it looks like he's still feeling discomfort in his wrist. But the Yankees have until tomorrow at 10 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern to turn in the ALCS roster. So that's something definitely to look into. So we're looking for Benintendi, we're looking for Chapman, and we're looking for DJ LeMahieu. Is LeMahieu ready? Aaron Hicks got hurt in this game.
Got hurt, yeah.
I don't think he was gonna make it, in a sense where they were probably gonna replace him with Peraza or Benintendi. But now for sure they're gonna have to make a move there. So he went to New York Presbyterian for an MRI on his knee. So that means he might be done for the rest of the stretch here. So it's gonna be interesting. 10 o'clock tomorrow Eastern. We might get the news by 11 o'clock what the roster will be.
So for what it's worth, this was, I think, 2 days ago, but I heard on MLB radio, MLB Network Radio, that that Aroldis Chapman is expected to be on the ALCS roster if they were to make it. So
I was gonna say he should be. I mean, the Yankees need as many arms as you can have in that pen,
all hands on deck for that.
especially going against Houston.
I mean,
Houston. I'm sorry, but Houston is that one team that you're afraid of that lineup up and down, and that you need to have matchups and arms available to match up well with the lineup.
right.
Yes, and the one it may even be that the one thing that that puts him back on this roster is that he's a lefty.
Exactly
Yes.
where I was gonna go
Exactly.
to as well. Like when you have a situation where, again, we talked about Alvarez a few minutes ago, and even the right fielder who's outstanding too, an outstanding young player too, Kyle Tucker. When you have a situation where you can have Peralta, Nestor, and Chapman available to pitch to those guys, I mean, you try to get the lefty-lefty matchup. So, that's gonna come into play. It's it sucks because like it's clear that Aroldis is a me type of guy. Even if he felt like he wasn't gonna make the initial roster, he still could have went to practice and help his team see some.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you can help your team by pitching to them and preparing them for a Class A type of 100-mile-an-hour fastball. You know what I mean? But you were an asshole. You couldn't put your pride aside. You're freaking 35 years old already. And you don't deserve to be on the roster because you didn't pitch well. Period.
So here's my thought with this with Chapman, that he's a lefty, and at some point, sometimes in the game, how you remember how Randy Johnson would just lose the strike zone sometimes and be pitching inside or behind somebody. As a lefty matchup, and somebody throws 95 to 100 miles an hour and loses sight of the strike zone and almost hits you a couple of times, it's nerve-wracking. And you're like, where the hell is this ball going to go? And if Chapman could get that velocity, and against Alvarez, against Tucker, and any other left-handed batter in that lineup, you're not going to be sitting too well on that strike in that batter's box.
Well, not only that, sometimes a pitcher only loses command like that on one pitch. So if he's having a hard time locating that fastball, but he's not missing over the plate, and even if he doesn't mean to, if he runs a couple fastballs up and in, but he's hitting with that slider, and you can do that, and then put one low and away on the corner of the strike zone, that's a recipe for success too. You don't have to be in command of all your pitches. And now that if he's got the slider and the changeup working, you can deal with that. It's just going to be, again, a question of whether he's missing over the plate or not.
Right.
He's giving me Doc Gooden vibes.
Shout out to Coach Les.
I was wondering how long it was going to take. What's up, Les?
What's going on?
It's fascinating, man, because like the dude still has an arm. Like he's throwing 101. You know what I mean? But then like your regression is location. Like it's never been perfected by him. But like you would think the first regression for a pitcher would be velocity. And that's not the case for this guy. So it's like a mental thing. But yeah, I mean, if he's able to get
lack of focus, man.
Lack of focus, yep.
They need to get him some Rick Vaughn Wild Thing glasses.
with or without the tape in the middle.
Either or. He could come out with the skull and crossbones one for all I care.
Yeah, like you said, man, if he could get that velocity against those guys, because it's gonna the situation is gonna come up.
Oh yeah,
it's a 7-game series, and you got Alvarez and Kyle Tucker coming up. You're gonna need Peralta, you're gonna need Chapman to go against those guys, and if you're able to if you're able to put a little bit of that fear of how, you don't know where the ball is going to go, and then all of a sudden he can locate something soft away, that'd be an advantage for the Yankees. The rest of the team will put their pride away and let him come back. Like, that's just the vibe that I'm getting from those guys. Is it gonna be him? Are you gonna step up in front of that locker room and say, "I apologize for my immaturity. I'm here to help us win this"?
Yeah, well, and if he does get himself back on that roster, then Wandy might not have to go 5 days in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Go up all 7 games.
It'll only
Yeah.
help their bullpen out, one, and then two, Vic, it doesn't really fucking matter if he does that or not. Just help the team win. That's basically what all the players want there.
Yeah. No, and so you got Ron Marinaccio. I don't know if you guys are up on him, but he was fantastic for the Yankees the whole season when they called him up from AAA. Right-hander, Italian kid who was just fantastic, man. And so he was hurt, but he should be available. I wonder if they're gonna take Clark Schmidt out or the kid that we got from the Mets, Miguel Castro. If he's gonna be removed, who's gonna be the guys removed for them is gonna be interesting as for me, for Yankee fans to see and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I think that the NLCS is a fun series to watch, and this ALCS could be fun to watch too. It could be a sweep on the Astros end, or the Yankees take it 7.
It's gonna be a
I
good
think
series.
I got Astros in 5.
It did take them 18 innings to score 1 run, which is
It did.
It did.
so
Which is why they probably won't finish with less than 2 for the rest of the playoffs.
that could be true.
That and I mean also props to Seattle's pitching for doing that in that first playoff game.
Yeah.
Man, no, that those guys can pitch too. So yeah.
Yeah, back to the overall picture. We've seen in previous years, the NL, for as much as or as good as the Dodgers are or have been in the regular season, when it comes to the playoffs, they pull a Peyton Manning, and they basically don't make it all the way. And the only ones that hold up the end of the bargain has been the Astros for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
So the NL is basically wide open.
Got there twice, won once.
They've only won 1 World Series, right? In this last 6 years or whatever.
Who?
The Astros.
Yeah. I mean,
so are they considered a dynasty or?
I would hold them to a standard of being a model of consistency.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Not a dynasty, but yeah, you can't call yourself a dynasty until you say you can win. Let's say 2 in the last 4 and 3 in the last 6 or 5. You know what I mean? That's when you consider yourself a dynasty, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, they and the Astros are the closest things we've got or had in a long time.
Since the Yankees.
No, but not dynasty.
Yeah, since the Yankees. Yeah.
Yeah, model of consistency is probably the best way to put it right now for them.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I mean, and there's no reason to believe they're gonna slow down either.
Hell no. I mean, you would think that, we keep saying it over and over again. You would think in the past 2 years, losing George Springer and Correa, that would have done it. But they're right back where they left off.
Would I be off if I said George Springer is one of the and shout out to him, UConn kid, New Britain, Connecticut. I was able to coach his sister when she was playing in the softball team here at Central Connecticut.
All right, keep throwing names out there. Good
really
job.
nice. No, I'm not throwing no names out there. Shout out to her. She was cool. But is he one of the more overrated players in this league?
Absolutely not.
Nah, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
No way. That Blue Jays lineup Like if you watch the games when he's on the injured list, that lineup completely loses its way without him.
Not only that, that outfield and his defense, man. Just that alone, his glove out there, you can't replace that. Ain't no way. He's been a top tier center fielder for a while now. And Josh just hit it on the money. You can tell the difference when he's in the lineup and when he's not, especially for that Blue Jays lineup. The Stros covered it up a little more because obviously they have Bregman, Altuve, Brantley. They had all the stars, but with the Jays, it's a little different with them being younger.
Shout out to Altuve too, man. 33, 34 now. Still making an impact. His numbers are probably not as good as he used to be, but I mean, who knows how many times trash cans were being hit for him? But
we'll see if he knows when the fastball is coming this time around, right?
I mean, bro, for him to turn around and those were one of Chapman's better times with the Yankees. Like for him to turn on that fastball, it was like, whoa. And I mean, we've talked about it before, kind of breaking down his skill set for as small as a player he is. Like his ability to swing the bat, one of the fastest bat speeds in the league. You have to be able to have those quick wrists and stuff like that, and he has all of that, and then the power that he's able to generate from the ground up.
Well, I mean, his arms aren't that long, so I mean, I could understand that.
Right. But that's fastballs up in the zone like that. That's not easy, man.
No, hell no, not. I'm not gonna say it. All I'm gonna say is it's the end of the fourth, and Wheeler's on the mound, and that's all I'm gonna say. Because I want to jinx it like these guys say all the time.
What, zeros all across the board?
There you go. You said it.
No, Jorge, that was enough. You don't talk
Man.
about it. You don't talk about it.
I mean, I want the viewers to know what's going on so that way they can tune in. You know what I mean?
You could say something crazy's happening and you should probably check the box score.
There you go.
No, man. So, all right. Since we're here, let's get everybody's NLCS and ALCS predictions. I already threw out my ALCS. I got Astros in 5.
I push it a game more. I think the Astros in 6. I think the Astros will get. I mean, the Yankees will get one of Cole's games and then one of Nestor's.
The fan in me says, of course, the Yankees in 7.
The Yankees in 8.
Huh?
I said the Yankees in 8.
But from a logistical standpoint, shout out to Mo Schefter.
Logistical.
Yeah, I could see the Stros in 6.
Lester?
Shout out to Chico Dusty, Astros in 5.
Okay.
I said it. That's the reason why I said that. I've said this in, I think it was the last live we went. I want Dusty to finally get that one, man. I want him to get his one, even if it's the Astros winning the World Series. But now that my picks are gone, I said the Stros in 6, and I'll start it off in the NL. I think San Diego just got hot at the right time, and they have too much for Philadelphia. I say San Diego in 5.
Are you saying that because you want to feel like the Mets lost to the World Series representative?
No, I say that because what I just said. Let's pay attention.
Yeah, I know what you said, but I also know how you feel.
Pay attention.
He said he knows that. He said he knows your soul, bro.
Right? Like this man's.
Remember what I told you about moral victories, Guru?
Remember what I told you about me not giving a fuck.
Hey man,
Well, now
So,
who you got, Les?
I got.
Are you rocking with the Padres?
Yeah, let's ask him because he's saying behind the scenes Padres. So what is your take?
Yeah, what is your take,
Coach?
Mystically, I can neither confirm or deny.
Okay.
I will say this.
From an undisclosed location.
From an undisclosed location. As you can see, my camera is off. But anywho, this is how I feel. I would like to see the Phillies get to the World Series off the strength of Bryce Harper, just because the Nationals made it, that whole fan base and everybody made a big deal of them winning one after he was gone. Whatever. I only remember it because they made a big deal out of it. I only want the Padres to win because of Jorge. That's it. I have no vested interest in the Padres. I'm just happy they beat the Mets. So, there's that.
I'm also happy that your White Sox didn't make the playoff.
Yeah, I'm also happy that my team won a World Series in the 21st century.
That's cool. Thanks for the history lesson. Storms, what's up, man?
Anytime. I do them for free every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. So,
Hey, how your Bears doing?
You finally got a decent football team.
No, I also see my football team win 2 in the last decade. So thank you. 21st century.
Now,
thank you.
are we talking baseball? Are we keeping it baseball? I don't know what kind of show this is. What is this turning into? I don't know where I'm at. Like I literally thought this was something for the dish. Now we're talking about the Bears, Giants. Next thing you know, you're gonna talk about the Knicks.
Nah, let's leave the Knicks out of this conversation.
Exactly. So baseball.
Storms, what you got, bro?
I really want to pick the Padres, but once again, logistically, I think collectively, I trust Harper and Real Muto and Reese Hoskins more than I trust Machado and Soto and Bell and Grisham. I don't know. I give a slight edge to the Padres for the rotation, but I don't know if Soto doesn't deliver in this series. If we get more of regular season Padre Juan Soto, then I'll take the Phillies in 5. But if Soto shows up, they can make it a series. They can even win. Give me Phillies in 6.
Dang. Les, who'd you pick in the AL between the Astros and the Yankees?
I told you I'm going with the Astros. I'm going with Dusty.
Holy shit! This is the first time me and you freaking pick the same teams.
Yankees.
And actually,
Yankees.
Yankees. All right, good.
Hey, we gotta make sure. Hey, we gotta make sure the Earth is back on its axis.
You're right. We can't be living in the alternate universe, right?
Yeah. No. I'm seriously going. Like I said, I'm going Astros on the strength of Dusty Baker, and this is something that I'm gonna throw at you guys because I don't know if this was said or this might be something you guys might be shocked by. When you talk about the Astros not being able to get run, what they scored, 1 run in 18 innings against the Mariners. Dusty Baker is truly a NL manager. Like, he knows how to manufacture runs. That's why I think that he's so good for the Astros, because I just always see Dusty as an NL manager. It's crazy seeing him in the AL, but he's been in there. And he's been killing he's been there the last 2-3 years. And how many World Series have they been in since he's been there?
Just the one,
Just
but
one.
Just the one. But like we talking about 2 in what, 3 years?
If they make it this year.
yeah.
Yeah, they getting there this year. Aaron Judge, his fairy tale season is gonna come to an end in the ALCS because they will defeat the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Freaking yeah, you're right. He is an NL manager, and him. I mean, they just have such a good squad and a good franchise. You know, it's the same comparison that you can make with Dave Roberts. Like when you have such a good team, how much managing do you really need to do?
Because when I think of the NL, I just think of like, you know, them having to grind it out, stealing bases, you know, bunting, squeezing. You know, I think of the AL is more, you know, more power, which is
that
crazy.
was the old school.
Yeah,
you know,
which
old
is crazy
school.
though. Which is crazy though because Aaron Judge literally hit 62 home runs, and that's the most in the AL history. Like
Wow.
if you look at the home run leaders, they were mostly National League players.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is impressive because I look at it as far as with the AL where you could DH a guy. So you know he could take a day off from the field, he could DH and still get his hits. Whereas in the NL, like you play or you don't. That's it. You came to work today? All right. Clock in.
Sit your ass down.
Clock in. You working. So, you know, that's just how I look at it. And then the thing about it is, do people even really steal bases like that anymore?
No.
It's sad. Ricky Henderson is somewhere crying tears.
We only had like 9 or 10, 20 base stealers this year.
Then the no is broken up. Will Myers, it's a single up the middle and the top and the bottom of the fifth.
So that's
because Wheeler shaved the beard.
So that's a question I like to pose. Do you think guys aren't being taught how to steal bases anymore? Is that why base stealing went down tremendously?
Yes. That, and along with this, like we talk about it all the time, small ball is gone, man. Like the Braves bunted their first bunt for a sacrifice this year was in game 160, I think, or 159 of 162.
Wow.
Yeah, man. So small ball with like, you know, the hit and run that we used to see all the time, or the double steal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That just doesn't happen anymore because their thought is, why run yourself into an out when you can have somebody hit a 2 or 3-1 home run?
Which is why something that stood out to me tonight was the Yankees with a hit and run up 4 runs.
Mm-hmm.
Boone was not messing around tonight. He was trying to slam the door. But it's sad. It's sad that seeing that one time makes you say that because it used to be commonplace.
That's why us talking about the Guardians and how they play is so much different than any other team that was still in the playoffs, because that's their game. That's what they do. They get on base, they use their speed, they hit the ball the other way, they look to hit singles, doubles. Not really, they didn't hit a lot of home runs. I think they hit half of the amount of home runs that the Yankees hit. So it's the era that's gone.
That just used to be
Huh?
I think that was like the coolest stat in baseball, in my opinion.
Or steals?
Yeah.
Speaking of stats, I lied. There were 22 20 base stealers this year, more than I thought. But now the stolen bases are at a premium anymore.
Hmm.
The leader had 41.
Yeah, that's another thing. The guy that led MLB in stolen bases used to require a minimum of what, 50, 55 bases?
About 60, yeah.
Yeah.
Now really you can get 35.
Yeah, John Birdie had 41 for the Marlins this year.
As a third baseman. That's crazy to me.
Positionless baseball, Les.
Yeah.
He's a 5'10", 190-pound third baseman. Wow.
And I think the last one to break 60 was Sterling Marte. I think it was last year when he played for the what team did he play for last year? A's and something else.
Marlins and then the A's.
Yeah.
This is another guy that the Padres are going to need to continue to overachieve if they want to win this series. Grisham.
That's probably not going to happen.
Well, Phillies in 6.
Nah, they got other batters that can contribute.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, like him and Ha-Sung Kim, were the two of them were massive for them in the NLDS. It's just hard to ask that out of your 7, 8, 9 every day. You know, the way they played against the Dodgers and against the Mets.
Yeah. 12 Ks through 5 innings between the two pitchers. It's crazy. Man, I'm interested to see if Bryce Harper continues his 30s on. I know he just hit a home run. He's really come into carrying the Philadelphia, I was going to say Eagles. The Eagles have been good. So, this being said, we're going to turn this into a watch for us, watch along. We're going to hop off the live, but give us your closing thoughts of the ALDS, their storms, and what you look forward to seeing in the ALCS and NLCS.
Closing thoughts for the ALDS. Still mad at Tito. You mentioned it earlier. Big shout out to Harrison Bader. Did not expect 3 home runs out of him, and all 3 of them came at real big times too. And shout out to the Yankees. So Vic can stop calling me a hater. As far as CSs go, man, just as always, I just want to see good baseball. I called them in 5 and 6, but I would be much happier if we got 7 games out of both, and I really don't care who wins on either one.
Yes, yeah, same. I mean, I prefer 8 games in each series, to be honest. I mean, let it go as long as possible.
Yeah,
you know?
Can we have 14, 18 games?
Schwarber just hit an upper deck shot. That's 2-0 Phillies. Upper deck.
Phillies in 6.
That was a shot. That
Matter
upper
of
deck.
fact.
That upper deck in San Diego is it's he just hit it 488 feet
Jesus.
with 110 mile per hour exit velocity.
There.
Hmm.
That's my name until the CS ends.
He's in 6. Less.
Yankees gonna finish it out.
Yankees need to finish it out.
Yeah, they got to.
But I thought you said you
Whoa.
wanted Baker to win one.
You said what?
I thought you said you wanted Baker to win one.
Oh, I thought you said ALDS.
They did finish it out. What you
Oh,
talking
they
about?
only played 5.
Yes.
Oh.
Let's closing
I'm
thoughts
tripping.
on ALDS and what you want to see out of the CSs.
Oh, my bad. I'm like,
You tripping.
I got the Celtics Sixers on right now. Sorry.
So you're saying the Celtics in 6 now?
I'm like double dipping right now. I'm baseball basketball right now. Sorry. Astros easily. I'm riding with Dusty Baker all day, every day.
All right. So you obviously have picked your World Series pick.
Like I told you, and as far as who in the NLCS, I win either way because the Phillies are in the NL East, which means they are a far more superior team than the Mets, and then the Padres beat the Mets. So I'm happy either way it goes.
I appreciate you talking shit to Trav too with that. Thank you.
Hey, y'all know I
So-
kill 2 birds with 1 stone all the time.
Yeah. Keep doing you.
Call me Randy Johnson.
Man, Darvish looks stunned out there on the mound right now with Real Muto up.
Vic, you back yet?
Vic ain't back.
All right.
We gotta go.
We got to go. So shout out to everybody that joined us. And just before we go, Chris also gave his picks. Chris said Yankees in 7 and Padres in 6. So that's what he said. He's, of course, a Yankees fan, so he's going to ride with his team. But anyway, from the dish, my man Storms that you see worldwide in the background, you hear his voice. We'll be on one of these days, one of these games. Keep notifications on because you never know when we're going to go. So see y'all next time.